Oh, another Wednesday, another no Fantastic Four news. Oh well.
What is going on? It is Wednesday evening. That means it is time for the tagline here on the Cinefanatics. My name is Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams.
And yeah, just to make sure y'all are all aware, even though there's no like parental advisory stickers on this screen or with this video, this may or may not be suitable for children, unlike any, Grand Theft Auto game that comes out, usually not suitable for kids. So just to clarify.
Just like the Grand Theft Auto game that's going to be coming out in 85 years.
I don't know why people are complaining about that based off of that trailer. Again, most people know I'm not a big video game player, but I enjoyed the heck out of Vice City back in the day. And that game allows you to pick up a prostitute and you pull off into like a park or a secluded
And
area.
do your stuff.
The car just... I was like, none of these games have ever been for kids. So why are you... I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about movies. They're not making movies off of Grand Theft Auto because they already have. Like Vice City was obviously Scarface.
Stop making rated R movies. Kids can't watch them.
True. Guys, y'all know how this is. YouTube stuff out of the way first. Streamlabs.com/Cinefanatics. Please help us out in this financial time of need as we get closer to the holidays. It would just be nice and helpful, and everyone wants to do something nice for the holidays. So there's where you could do something nice. Streamlabs.com/Cinefanatics. Put some food on our table. We luckily got rent paid, but some food would be nice too. Or at least getting the cell phone bill paid now. Now that rent took all the money. Speaking of money, patreon.com/Cinefanatics. If you feel like that we are worthy of your support and you have the means to help us out, hop on the tier that's good for you. There's a $1 tier and a $5 tier. There's only two to choose from, so real easy to choose. Coming up on Patreon next Wednesday after Tagline, we will be doing our monthly movie trivia hangout. So that is next Wednesday, the 13th, 8 that'll be
right after Tagline, about an hour after Tagline.
Yeah, so 8 Pacific, 11 Eastern. And then the 27th, the Wednesday after Christmas, but right before New Year's, will be our watch along. That will be on the 27th, also 8 Pacific, 11 Eastern. We will let you know what that movie is as we get a little bit closer to it.
We decided on the 27th. I thought it was the 20th. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't want to do it like right before Christmas. No one's in the mind frame for that at that time. Upcoming shows on the 15th, Friday the 15th at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, we will be doing the Marquee, where we will be ranking Christmas specials, not Christmas movies. These will be the specials that played on TV that we all watched as a kid. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, that claymation thing that most people except me and my brother have never heard of, that is actually really awesome. So go look that up if you haven't seen that.
And of course, also something like the Star Wars holiday special and the Guardians of the Galaxy ones will also be on there too.
Yeah. So a lot of fun with that. If you are on our Patreon, you can hop on our Discord, go to the Marquee channel on the Discord, and you can see the entire list. If you want to watch all these and catch up, so you can join us live in the chat as we tier rank these specials.
Do keep in mind, some of them are hard to find, but you can find a lot of these just for free already on YouTube.
Yeah. I think almost every single one we've said so far just now are all available for free on YouTube somewhere.
And then on top of that, this will beg the question, what will we do around the holiday time next year? I don't know.
Yeah, because we've tier ranked Christmas movies. Now we're tier ranking Christmas specials. I did Christmas horror movies last year, so we're kind of running out of Christmassy stuff. Next year we'll be tier ranking Hanukkah movies.
So 8 Crazy Nights.
Well, we might have to research some more. Please forgive us. We're not Jewish, so we don't know a lot of them maybe off the top of our head. But yeah, that might be a possibility. That may be a real possibility. That might be interesting to do. See if we can get someone to join us who might be a little more informed on that. But anyways,
I can think of someone.
That is I know of like at least a couple of people we can get, but you know what? That's a future Cinefanatics problem. That's not present Cinefanatics. Let's talk about present Cinefanatics stuff. What movies have we watched this past week?
The only one I watched this last week is the one that was recommended to me, the last Tagline. So we can wait on that if we want to, since you've got, again, a handful of movies, since you do nothing with your life but watch movies.
So, yeah, over this past week, I caught up. I watched The Blackening, which I thought was actually pretty funny. I'm not sure if I was allowed to laugh at the jokes, but I did, and they were funny. Can't help it. Some of those jokes were actually really good. Even there was like a lot of jokes that really were not racially focused that were really good. So, like, I thought they did really good with that movie. That was Tim Story who directed that. So,
oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Uh-huh.
Of Fantastic Four fame.
Yeah, he did a good job with that. I thought it was a very well put together movie. It's not anywhere near the tops of my horror movies for this year, but it was a very well made, put together movie.
So, that was excellent cinema. Yes.
And then I also watched what everyone else apparently has already watched, and I had no idea that this movie even exists until I saw people start talking about it on Twitter. So I was like, you know what? It's Christmas time. I like horror movies. I'm gonna watch It's a Wonderful Knife, and it was decent. Like I feel like It's a Wonderful Knife fits in so well with this. I feel like a new genre of horror movies that we've gotten lately. The Happy Death Day, Freaky, Totally Killer. I feel like it belongs in that family group.
Modern campy.
Yeah. Like campy, teenager focused, like Gen Z focused type of movie. I would almost want to put like well, not quite. I was gonna say I almost want to put Bodies in there, but that was kind of a separate. That would be closer to like the current like elevated horror that we're getting, or a toss up in between. But It's a Wonderful Knife, I thought was a pretty good movie. Had a good story to it, if not a little clunky at some points, but watchable, enjoyable. I thought I liked it. I feel like a little bit more than I did Totally Killer. So, and then we got the movies that were challenged to us last week. So William Harold challenged me with Sharks of the Corn, which I had never heard of it. I quickly looked it up and saw killer sharks swimming in a cornfield. I was like, okay, that sounds crazy. I'll watch that. And good Lord, it is the lowest of budgets. This movie made Birdemic look like Citizen Kane.
I feel like that movie sounds like there needs to be a character just ironically or not ironically, I don't know, named Dorsal Husk.
No, but like it was definitely one of those. It feels like it was a movie that was made by someone in the middle of BFE in Kentucky. The movie takes place in Kentucky, so I assume it was shot there because I'm not reading up any of the trivia or the production of this movie. So it looks like they just grabbed like whatever random like bumpkins they could find around town. They just went to like the hole in the wall bar and said, you, and you come be in our movie. And they're like, well, I guess I'll be a movie star then.
Start my career in Hollywood.
So that's what it got. The sharks, when they show a close-up of a shark, you can obviously tell it's like a hand puppet, and it's like a hand puppet. I'm trying to figure out how my screen, it's like this. The hand puppet is coming from like right here off screen. And like, no!
So
and just
at one
the
point,
cheapiest of effects.
At one point, didn't any of them go, hi, I'm Woody. Howdy.
No, that would have been great, though. Now, I will say, there are some great lines in this movie just because of super low budget, so there has to be something as a selling point. I do like the beginning where there's like a couple and this dude's just like drinking like vodka straight out of a giant like gallon bottle, and the woman's that he's with is like, well, let's go play hide and seek, and I'm going to strip naked in the cornfield. And my first thought was like, don't walk backwards. So yeah, that was your nudity that you needed for that movie. It was right there.
So I think about that.
Yeah. Like within the first 5 minutes, you've already got nudity in the movie. You're good. You've got an audience locked in for another hour and 45.
Boobs, sharks, and corn. What more do you need?
Well, acting talent and better special effects.
Nah, it's all overrated.
And a tighter story.
All of it's overrated.
Even though I know there is someone in our chat that will. We had a lot of fun with my Twitter thread as I was watching it. So, anyways, that was my movie. I appreciate like watching extremely low budget movies because here's the thing: no matter what, at the end of the day, I have not made a movie and they did. So, kudos to them. But what movie did you watch?
I watched a delightfully upbeat and just colorful, just amazingly heartfelt and just bright sunny day of a movie called Let Me In.
That was recommended to you by
Jon Knight himself.
By Mr. Jon Knight.
Yes, that is true.
So real quick, I did rewatch this as well, like a couple of nights before you did, and I still think it's a great movie. Like the way it's shot, just it's beautiful. The music, yeah,
music is good. I will say, okay, so let me attack this from a technical filmmaking standpoint. Script is tight. Cinematography, great. Acting on it. Everything is there. Matt Reeves clearly likes the yellow lighting.
Was this filmed in Mexico or Canada?
He also apparently likes people who wrap themselves up in like trash bags. Because
has he done that more than once?
Batman, Riddler.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did have. Yeah. Okay.
How many times can you say yeah?
Yeah, I didn't catch that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
now we're gonna sound like Minnesotan. Yeah.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, you betcha.
It's not for me. The movie's not for me. Again, this is falling in line of the kind of movie, the kind of topics and themes and stuff that I don't care for myself, and that's anything that leans horror related. Usually, there's a very select few of those that I get behind. Just so y'all know, my horror tastes are Get Out, Us, and Warm Bodies.
I mean, that's kind of. I would still say, like, if you were okay watching Get Out or Us,
sure,
but not Let Me In, I feel like Let Me In could be within.
Sure.
Like it's light horror, but the horror is not the focus of that movie.
So I think my issue with Let Me In was that. Listen, this is the risk you run when you recommend a movie. We might not like it. The thing at the end of the day is, and what we need to remember is that it can be a good movie and not be for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where we lie on this one. I think it's a good movie for a lot of people. It's just not for me. I had a harder, a little bit more difficult time with it. Just kind of getting into it. It was definitely a little bit slower paced, especially for the first like 30-40 minutes of it was a little bit slower paced
because it's got a lot to set up.
And I was having like a harder time kind of getting into it. But overall, like, again, I think the story, yes, the story between the two of them was just a very well written, touching story. But I think as a whole, it just wasn't my style. It wasn't my style. And that's okay. That's okay.
I still love the movie, so there's love for that movie coming from this channel in some form. So we're gonna add another stipulation tonight for these recommendations. Now,
no more corn sharks.
Yeah. While I do appreciate the odd, every once in a while, random ass animal in the middle of some weird place that you don't expect an animal to be at, like a sloth at a sorority house or shark swimming in a cornfield, sure.
Or a giraffe on the moon.
Giraffe on the moon, or zombies becoming beavers, whatever. Or beavers becoming zombies. That one was actually good. I do recommend Zombievers if you haven't seen it. Oh yeah, I saw you posting about this on Twitter, and I was like, oh my god. No, Lego, I do like these random low budget animal horror movies. I just don't want to be watching them all the time. There's a plethora of good, critically acclaimed movies out there that I have not seen, and I'm wanting someone to recommend one of those movies. Yes. Could I sit down and just watch those movies without being recommended? Absolutely. But I like the added bonus of someone recommend the movie, we watch it, and then we talk about it the next week. So that's what I want to do. So we're adding another little stipulation to kind of hopefully contain these recommendations in some form, kind of help narrow down the playing field of what you could select.
Steering the ship.
Yeah. So we have both, before the show went live, we both determined a type of movie that we want you to recommend instead of just an open, hey, recommend me a movie. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have these a little focused here. We are going to continue with the show. We're not waiting around for answers, so give y'all some time to think about it and see what y'all would recommend. But like, we're gonna start with me first on this, and I want recommend an Oscar-worthy movie that came out this year, kind of help jumpstart what movies are possibly going to be a part of the Oscars that I need to watch before. Recommend an Oscar-worthy movie that I have not seen yet, and I know that might be a little difficult to quickly run through like my Letterboxd and look for a specific movie. Just post up movies, and I'll let you know if I've seen it or not.
Also, you can make the determination as to what you believe Oscar-worthy means. If you feel like it's an Oscar-worthy movie, then there you go.
Yeah, I want like serious. Yeah, so for example, Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer clearly is going to be an Oscar-worthy movie. I have seen it, but yeah. Make it in 1923. Challenge yourself. No, because I'm going to be sitting here watching like silent movies all day.
Can do that after we catch up on the movies we need to catch up on this year.
Yeah, I want to catch up on 2023 as people's top 10 lists are starting to be formulated and finalized. I want to focus on that. Anyways, y'all think about what movies, and I will let you know. Either I'll talk to you in the chat while Chris is talking about box office stuff, or after he's done, I'll make reference to it. But yeah, let's get on with some movie news.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is what's happening in your world tonight.
We apologize for the interruption.
Back to you.
And just to clarify, once we do his, we'll also move on to mine, and there will be a bar scrolling at the bottom for me as well. And I will know what kind of movie I'm looking for at that moment. So, box office. Can we guess what the number one movie in the box office is this week?
What came out?
I ain't saying. You're right. It is definitely Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. Good guess. How did you get there?
What the hell is that? Like, is this another concert film?
Yeah, it's the Beyonce concert film.
Like the Taylor Swift one came out, and Beyonce's like, that's a good idea. I want to do that. And then she just quickly put one out as well.
Yeah. She was able to crank out a whole concert film in the span of 2 weeks.
I mean, in all honesty, that's actually possible. Have you seen like the level of quality there is on concerts? Like, you could go look up a concert that was here in Austin last night, and the full concert with editing and everything is on YouTube in immaculate quality. So yes, I believe it is fully possible for them to crank that out within 2 weeks, especially if they've already had it filmed with a plan to do that anyways.
Yes. Yeah, as long as they already had planned to make the movie, they could make the movie. Got it. Yep. Anyway, yes, Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, is the number one movie in the box office this week with a solid almost $22 billion for the weekend gross. So not too bad, not too shabby. The fight between Queen Bee and the Swifties is on, and we will see which of the concert films ends up the highest grossing concert film by the end of their both their runs.
Well, so Taylor Swift's is ending like right now because it comes out on at least on VOD on next Friday.
Yeah, so the total box office that Taylor Swift has, we're gonna see it stack up against whatever the total box office will end up being for the Beyonce concert movie, and someone's gonna get upset. But it won't be Taylor Swift or Beyonce, I'll tell you that much. It'll be some of their fans.
Now, do you see the golden opportunity that we have here between Taylor Swift and Beyonce?
Wondering where the Kanye West concert film is?
Hey, Beyonce had a good film and everything, and I'll let Beyonce talk here in a minute, but Taylor Swift's movie was the highest grossing movie of the entire year.
Just kind of running back. Well, so little known fact, I don't know if you know this, but Beyonce did give Taylor Swift a moment to give her speech later on. It was actually I didn't realize that, but I saw it on like YouTube or something later on. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, she won Album of the Year, and she was like, I remember when I was younger and I won my first award, and it was so amazing to be able to come up here and like thank everyone and just have my moment in the sun. And I want Taylor Swift to have that moment. And then she called Taylor Swift back up.
Yep. Anyway, number 2 movie of the weekend is...
Reason they call her Queen.
Number 2 movie of the weekend is The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, with another 14 million. Things made about 121 million so far domestically, which is, I guess not too bad. I'm not sure what the budget was, but it can't be more than 200,000. So, there you go. Number 3, this is an interesting one. We've been hearing a lot of buzz around this one, and it opened this weekend, and I kind of want to see it, but we're probably not going to go see it in the theater. We'll have to wait for it to hit home viewing of some sort, and that's Godzilla -1. Godzilla -1 hitting that number 3 spot with about $11.5 million opening here domestically. Now, this was one I actually want to click on and see what the worldwide is. I guess it did just open worldwide totally because it is currently sitting at 40,900,000 right now. So we're going to see that worldwide number jump here pretty soon. I think that one's going to be very high by next weekend. Do we know what comes out this week? Because I'm wondering what's going to be battling with Godzilla here.
There is nothing coming out this week that looked like it. There's nothing on our calendar, so it wasn't anything primarily like heavily focused for us. What I will say is I did read. I don't know if you saw this, but like Toho, who does the production for the Japanese Godzilla movies, has extended Godzilla -1's stay in America. So it more showings beyond what they originally planned to run.
So it's probably going to have like a normal box office shelf life here in America.
Probably. I will say, I don't know if we said this in the Godzilla X Kong trailer we did. We're not I'm not that big of a fan of kaiju movies. Like the Godzilla movies that they've done recently since 2004. I
like them if they're good.
Yeah, and I feel like they've all been very slow with very little Godzilla in them. Kong Skull Island was interesting, but it was also starting to venture off into maybe being a little too slow for me until like the very end. I'm not a huge Godzilla fan.
I like the 2014 Godzilla. I think King of the Monsters was kind of dull in spots, and Godzilla versus King Kong it had some really good fun moments in it, but otherwise it was okay.
That was probably, in my opinion, I would say that was probably the best out of all the recent Godzilla MonsterVerse movies to come out.
And Cloverfield was fascinating.
I liked Cloverfield. Cloverfield was good. But it took me forever to watch Pacific Rim. And I haven't even watched the second Pacific Rim yet, so
yeah.
This is slowly becoming a blasphemous stream. Sorry. So I had no interest really in this Godzilla -1 until I saw everyone and their mom on Twitter's like, this movie is fucking amazing. And I'm like, all right, might need to watch this Godzilla movie.
And then the trailer
it
looks really good too.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good. So yeah, I would be interested in seeing it. I would like to try to go to the theater because I know that's a Godzilla movie is a movie you should watch on the big screen.
Yeah.
But kind of like Chris is saying, we're cutting it close with being able to get bills paid right now. So movies, even though we're running a movie YouTube channel, it's not really in the cards for this.
Sometimes life says no, not right now. So there you go.
So
number 4
/cinefanatics if you would like to get our opinion on Godzilla -1.
Yeah. Number 4, we got Trolls Band Together. Apparently they made another Trolls movie. Number 5 is Wish. Number 6, Napoleon. Number 7, 8, and 9 are all 3 new releases for this week. Animal, The Shift, and Silent Night in that order. Silent Night, of course, being that Christmas John Wick movie, basically. And then number 10 is Thanksgiving. So there you go.
Which apparently is going to get a sequel. So
Thanksgiving 2, the tryptophan hits.
When the tryptophan hits, the nap after Thanksgiving.
The Cowboys game and the big sleep.
Pretty much. Anyways, so that was the box office.
That's your box office.
Yeah.
Box office.
Guys, we got this banner rolling down here. What else? What Oscar-worthy movies can y'all think of? Or what movie, like say even a movie that is something that you feel like should be Oscar nominated, even if it's just in your opinion type of thing. So, or if nothing else, you know what? Let's go with like, what is recommend a critically acclaimed 2023 movie? Like, I don't want like something that went straight to streaming or like, unless it is critically acclaimed. I know like there's some really good movies that do hit Netflix and whatnot.
Recommend a critically acclaimed movie for him.
Yeah. Anyways, so moving on. So it was announced that SAG-AFTRA, all the people who are registered with the SAG union have all finally gotten the opportunity to review the contract from the strike, and they've officially ratified it. This is something I thought was going to happen within like the after the weekend. Like it was made official, I think, like on a Thursday, and then the board was reviewing it on Friday, and I thought like all the members were going to get to review and vote the following Monday. No, apparently it's like a month later. So they've been able to work for like an entire month before all the people involved in the union have actually said, yeah, we're good with this.
Yeah.
But they have reviewed it. It has won a majority vote. I know there were a lot of people that were still very iffy on like some of the specifics of the contract, primarily still around like AI. So we'll see. This contract is only going to last for 3 years before we're going to be back at this again, potentially. Hopefully not in a strike. Hopefully they solve it before it goes to a strike.
Yeah.
But
hopefully they can be like, hey, you remember how long we held our own in the strike last time? You don't want to do that again? Let's figure this thing out real quick. And that's kind of hopefully the way it goes down.
Yeah. I mean, we're still kind of rebuilding after COVID.
Right.
So not a good time to send all your people out on strike when you're still trying to reestablish that industry. So please don't do this again. Let's work on this ahead of time. In fact, let's start working on it now. Let's be proactive at this.
Well, hopefully all that needs to happen is just a re-signing of the same contract for another 3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, so yeah, looks like that has gone through. It has passed, and hopefully everything all is well, and everyone's back to making movies. That being said, I do want to say there was also a tweet sent out today by Ryan Reynolds talking about how many images have been leaked from the set of Deadpool 3. And basically, like, he's saying that we're trying to make this movie as best as we can. We're not filming like on a soundstage or a studio or anything. We're filming out and about. We're trying to make this as practical as possible. Because of that, it is very easy for people to randomly see things that should be surprised in the movie. And so we're getting just hit with a slew of like spoilers and stuff. And there's been some good ones. I've seen all of them so far, and there's been some really, really good ones that I'm super anxious for. We will not be covering those spoilers here. I mean, I know we talked about the Wolverine and the yellow costume. We showed an image on Tagline. I think that's going to be...
That's not what I meant to do.
Oh, you're just trying to do it all at once.
There we go. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be, at this rate, we're going to be done with all the news articles. Like, yeah, so who's recommending a movie?
It's cool. I'll recommend my own damn movie to my own self.
Yeah, I know. Or you'll just take the movie that I was recommending to you before the show started.
Yeah, pretty much.
You should watch that anyways, but anyway, so yeah, we're not going to be talking about any of the spoilers and stuff as much as I would love to.
Yeah, I saw set photos of... Did we say the movie name? Are we staying away from the movie name too?
Of Deadpool 3?
Oh, okay, you said it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I saw the set photos of Deadpool 3 and I'm like, cool. Why are we... all right. That's happening, I guess.
I would love to talk about these. I would love to talk about them a lot because I'm super excited and I'm getting all like nerdy and sweaty about this. But
you don't want to encourage the culture of people snapping photos of set secrets from the movie that we should be finding out when we watch the movie and not seeing spoiled for us in set photos.
Yeah, and it's not like our 1,973 subscribers puts us in a position of leverage to change the internet industry of talking about movies and make everyone go, you know what, let's be like those Cinefanatics boys and let's do what Ryan Reynolds is saying. Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not causing that kind of a wave, but I do like Ryan Reynolds and I respect him as a person and as an actor, and I feel like we're going to abide by what he's asking. So
yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Lego's asking if you've seen Bullet Train or Bloodsport. Bullet Train I recommend, but
I've not seen either one, and I don't know that I'm going to watch Bullet Train.
Bullet Train was good, but I can't remember exactly how bloody it gets.
From what I've already looked up, from what I've read, I'm not that interested in seeing it myself.
It was a good movie though.
Yeah.
I liked Bullet Train. Bloodsport is a classic.
Was that Van Damme?
Jean-Claude Van Damme, yep.
One.
Now the problem is I get it confused with Kickboxer. Just like I feel like every person in the world gets those two confused. So Bloodsport, Kickboxer. I remember I liked both of them.
Wait, is this the one where he does the dancing?
It's either Bloodsport or Kickboxer.
Is this the one where we have the meme of him doing the fun dancing or whatever?
Let me see which one Bloodsport is.
Because down.
Okay, Bloodsport's the one with Donald Gibb in it. Okay. Yes. I don't know if this is the one that has the dancing, but okay. So Donald Gibb is in this one. Bloodsport is good. And so, yeah, the reason I get them confused is obviously they both are starring Van Damme. They both have very similar kind of storylines. And when I saw them both, me and my friends at the time, we decided to watch like both movies like back to back. So it's super confusing for me now which one I actually saw or which one's which. But yeah, Bloodsport's good.
All right. We'll mark up Bloodsport for me.
Is it streaming somewhere? Oh, it's on Pluto. It's on Pluto TV.
Is that a website I go to?
Yeah, it's like Tubi. You can watch it. It will have
ads. That's fine.
I think you can watch it. I can't remember. Do you have to have drop in watch free?
I'll figure it out. We don't have to figure out the Pluto thing right now. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So yeah, you can watch it for free. Anyways,
Bloodsport. All
so
right.
that was recommended by Lego. Okay. Now, what's a good critically acclaimed 2023 movie for me? What's something that y'all saw this year that a lot of people seem to like, but I haven't watched yet? Start naming off like really good 2023 movies.
Watch Barbie again.
Anyways, moving on. Speaking of movies, because that's what we're talking about here.
Good segue. Excellent segue for a movie YouTube channel and a live show about movies.
Speaking of movies, what's their stupid slogan? Like endless playing or whatever. Yeah, that ain't happening anymore. PlayStation sent out this message to people saying that due to our content licensing arrangements with content providers, you will no longer be watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your library. We sincerely thank you for your continued support, you assholes. Anyways, now that is specifically talking about Discovery content, not necessarily movies. So I assume that's going to be like if you had bought the entire series of Mythbusters that used to air on the Discovery Channel back in the day. You will no longer have access to that. But I mean, this is a stepping stone into a larger world where we're going to be losing content because of stuff like this. A lot of people are upset. There's a couple of positions with this. One, when you sign up for PlayStation and to buy movies, the terms and conditions that they make you agree to specifically do say, hey, the item, the movie or TV show or whatever it is that you are purchasing is only going to be held by us for you to watch at your leisure as long as we still have contracts. Just because you're buying the movie doesn't mean you actually get to keep it.
Yeah.
Which that's in the agreement. If everyone just read the agreement, which
nobody reads agreements.
No one's reading that.
None of us read agreements for anything.
But that is in there. So theoretically, you knew about it before this message came out.
Yeah, their argument around this is that you didn't purchase the movie. You purchased the ability to check out our license of the movie.
Yeah.
And if we don't have the license of the movie, then you don't have the movie. Yep.
The downside to this, though, which the whole like you agreed to the agreement aside, the opposite of this, which I completely understand, is like, well, then if it's not free, or if I'm not allowed the movies that I've clearly paid for, then all you're doing is justifying piracy. I mean, essentially. I mean, you paid the money and they don't give you the movie, so now you should be allowed to go get the movie without having to pay the money again, is basically what they're saying. Not that that's something that we're recommending, but
I can see how somebody would rationalize that, though.
Yes.
No, what this says at the end of the day is that it is not worth it to, at the very least, purchase anything off of the PlayStation Store movie-wise. And at the most, it indicates another faulty issue with digital only releasing and not purchasing physical media, which you own and can do anything with at any time. And of course, usually most physical media also comes with like a digital download, which means that you can take the movie and have essentially a backup of the movie available for yourself on your computing device of some sort. That way, if for some reason something happens to your physical copy, you have that digital copy still. But it does give you the option of having both and being able to still own the movie that you purchased. I think we are trying. I really see like studios trying to move into a world, studios, productions, all this stuff, trying to move into a world where they can get the most and squeeze the most money out of consumers as possible by not really allowing the continual watching of a product that you've already purchased at home. We want you to either pay for a streaming service or rent it, essentially. And that way we know that the movie that we created will continue to provide money for us for many years to come.
Yeah.
And I think that's not a great practice, because that's just not how we've been doing it. That's just not how it works.
I can understand for like your normal casual person who maybe isn't like a big cinephile but does like watching movies occasionally. The streaming is definitely like the way to go, because instead of like, well, like for example, right now we don't have a giant like shelf or library of physical media. Most all the movies that we own are like digital, and they're on like a hard drive or something, because we don't have the room. We don't have a TV. We don't actually have a TV set up in our apartment at all.
I watch movies on our computers.
Yeah, my computer that I'm on right here is nicely big enough to sit here and watch a movie and enjoy it. We do use like movie clips a lot. So if I can't find a particular clip for something that I'm wanting to edit for one of our videos on YouTube, I can just go grab my digital copy of the movie and grab it out of there. So it's beneficial for what we're doing right now. But for your non-cinephile like that, instead of having an entire wall of physical media, maybe it's justified to go spend like $10, $12, $16 a month on a streaming service, and that's your media library. You watch whatever they have on there. And again, if you're not a huge cinephile like that, you're very likely going to find at least a couple of things that you would absolutely love to watch tonight on one of those streaming services. So that would make sense for people in that position. People like us in the community that we're a part of, big movie nerds. If I could have the space, I would love to have like my own like home theater. I used to have like the giant shelves full of like Blu-rays and DVDs back in the day. So I would absolutely love to have that again, but it just doesn't work with what we're doing right now.
Yeah, back before you moved here, one of my other roommates, we had a projector, and we projected movies up on one of the walls in the living room.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Now the walls are covered in a giant green sheet. So we have green screen.
Anyway, yeah, kind of a bummer that people's movies that they paid for, they no longer have. But I think this will do one really big thing, which is convince people not to buy stuff off the PlayStation Store, which is not great for PlayStation. Maybe they'll have to rethink some things.
And it's coming at a bad time, too, because this is like fresh off, like within a month of the announcement that Best Buy was shrinking their physical media section at their store because people aren't buying physical media. Now we got a position where the stores are responding that they're reducing the floor space, the square footage for physical media, while the digital media is like, yeah, you can't watch the movie that you bought. So that's going to leave consumers in a very, very bad, tight spot. And it's going to start leaning towards one particular direction.
Again, do you want people to turn to piracy? Because this is how you convince people to turn to piracy.
Exactly. So now to spin this off into a positive side of this, it was announced earlier today that A24 is going to start allowing their movies to stream exclusively on Max, on HBO Max.
Oh my God, is that a win for David Zaslav finally?
Yeah, but I don't know if you've seen like the Twitter discourse on this. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Zaslav has nothing to do with this decision.
Yeah, you know where that Twitter discourse came from? My tweet.
Oh, okay, cool.
That was exactly my tweet. Like, hey, good job, David Zaslav. He probably didn't make this decision. It was definitely someone else who's never going to take credit for this whatsoever.
I feel like I've seen a couple of people saying something similar to that, but yeah.
Nah.
Just because you've taken the company like a couple of steps back, and we've taken one small step forward here. But yeah, A24 movies coming to Max. That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, because I think they were kind of, this entire time they've been spread out amongst different locations. A few of them on Netflix. You could find a few of them here, a few of them there. Mm-hmm. But now for them all to be exclusively streaming on Max, I think it's a big win for Max in a time when a lot of the talk around Max right now is, well, this was kind of the number one streaming service there for a little bit, and now as things are getting removed, like the Looney Tunes being removed or other stuff is kind of happening with the streaming service, people have been kind of down on it lately, and now this is a nice solid win for that streaming service, and going to guarantee that at least a certain sector of cinema lovers will probably be booking themselves a one-way ticket to Maxtown for the foreseeable future.
And like, I think this is a good idea, especially after, what was it? Everything Everywhere All at Once won the Best Picture. That's really putting googly eyes on A24. I was going to say putting eyes on it, but then I was like, hey, googly eyes. It's putting eyes on A24, where now you're going to start getting more and more people going, well, that was a good movie. What else does this A24 have to offer?
I recommend Lamb.
I was going to say, go watch Lamb. That's what they have to offer. You're missing
Lamb is fun.
One of the best A24 movies, I think, was ever made. Lamb was great.
I don't recommend Green Knight unless you like man juice.
Man.
You heard me.
Yeah. Or was it like Hereditary? Ari Aster's been A24. Hereditary.
I recommend Hereditary if you don't mind losing your head.
Yeah. Midsommar. If you don't mind being stuffed in a bear. But yeah, like getting the A24 movies on Max, that's a really good move.
Yeah. So W for Max there. Good job.
Yeah. Let's talk about a W for Pixar. It was announced that they will be releasing Soul, Red, and Luca to the movie theaters. All three of these movies came out around the height of the pandemic, and they all went straight to Disney Plus, where they saw various levels of success. I think out of those three, I think Soul I liked the most. Red was really good. I thought Red was very well made. Luca took me a couple of tries to watch it, but once I finally watched the whole movie, I was like, this is actually pretty good. It was a fun movie. So yeah, I like the fact that they're going back to the theater.
Yeah.
Or they're going to the theater for the first time now. I would almost want to go see those.
This is basically Disney trying to remind everybody that, hey, Pixar is worthy of going to the theater to see. Don't just wait for Disney Plus. Go to the theater and check it out.
Yeah.
And honestly, like Luca, I'm not too big on. I wasn't like, it's a pretty movie. It's a really like pretty animated movie, but the movie itself was just kind of for me. Red I loved. Red I thought was fantastic, and Soul I thought was really good too. So it is actually nice to see them putting these back in theaters and kind of just reminding people, hey, come watch our movies in the theater. They're going to be good in the theater. Check them out.
Yeah, so glad those are I hope they do well, because Pixar and Disney desperately need something to win.
Did they have did they say a release date on those? When they're bringing them back, or just that they just are bringing them back?
Yeah, I want to say it's January, February, and March. So they're doing one per month.
Does Disney have anything else coming out during those months?
I don't know.
They might, but what that tells me is that they are trying to get some family attention during months that there probably isn't a whole lot of like family attention in the theaters, just because there's generally not a whole lot of theater attention during those months.
Well, also from a business standpoint, if you look at it, they're front loading the beginning of next year, hoping to avoid what happened this year, where not really any of their movies, except I think like Guardians 3, really did anything for them. I think Guardians 3 was their highest grossing movie of the entire year. So they're wanting to avoid that because it's Disney. Disney doesn't do that crap. Disney puts out blockbusters that make tons of money throughout the entire year. So this is a very weird and off year for Disney.
They were saying that this is like the first year in like the last several years where they haven't hit at least $1 billion movie.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're wanting to front load the next year with these movies. One, these movies have already been made, so their budget is not on Disney's books.
It's marketing. remarketing.
All they have to do is market, and they really don't have to do too much marketing. Maybe put out a commercial like, hey, did you like Soul? You didn't get to see it in the theaters. Well, now it's in the theaters, so get your butts down here and come watch Soul.
Just
That's what they're doing.
What they got to do is they got to turn around and make them fun events for the family to come out and enjoy. Just come experience that Disney magic. Come to the theater again and spend some time with your family. Make some memories. Make some memories at the theater with your family. Like that's the angle you go at, and just make people go, oh, you know what? It would be nice to take the kids out to a movie, and we know these movies are good. We've seen them. We know the kids like these movies, so they'll enjoy these movies. So let's go to the theater and see it and have some fun.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. They're not going to make numbers at all, but
whatever money they make is all profit for the most part.
Yeah, they'll do decent enough. I mean, these movies, again, never really had a theatrical run, so any kind of box office they get is going to be beneficial for Pixar.
They'll at least make a couple of million easily. So,
yep.
Yeah, I would be eager for Soul just because that movie deals with like a lot of jazz music, and having that in surround sound would sound really nice. So I would be eager for that. You know what other movie had to deal with jazz music?
Real quick, you never saw La La Land in the theater. You stopped that.
That's right. La La Land had to deal with jazz music, and La La Land starred Ryan Gosling. What other movie stars Ryan Gosling? Good question. That Barbie movie that had Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie. Well, it has been announced that both Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie are going to re-team for a prequel to Ocean's 11.
It's basically been announced that Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie are going to star in movies together from here till eternity. Sorry, Emma Stone. He found somebody new.
Yeah. Now I'm waiting for the Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Margot Robbie like love triangle movie. Tickets easily sold. Like, someone just make that movie. Like, where Ryan Gosling has to choose between the two of them. Like, what's that movie what was that? This Means War? Was that
let's not make another This Means War. That movie was
let's make it better than that, but yeah, like.
So what happens is you make a movie where the two women are fighting over him the entire time, and then it turns out at the end he was gay the entire time.
So there's a couple of issues that I could already see that
he was never going to pick either one of them to begin with. Plot twist.
The problem with that is Twitter is going to have a field day with all of that. Like, Twitter's going to have a problem with the fact that you're making a movie where two women are fighting over a man. And then they're going to have a problem with the fact that the man turns out to be gay the entire time. Like,
plot
that's
twist.
Not going to fly.
Yeah, no. I think the issue is that you'll find a lot of people in the LGBTQ community who are like, who we are is not a plot twist. Please don't do that.
I mean, why don't you just throw in the storyline from Shallow Hal while we're at it too, and just have one of them wearing a suit the entire time? Isn't that Chasing Amy but gender reverse? I mean, technically sure, but Chasing Amy came out in 1997, so it was okay back then.
Fair. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah. Yeah, that would not sell with Twitter. I would almost love to see someone make like a trailer, like a fake trailer with that, just to see how Twitter would respond, because that would be just all over the place.
I'm going to be honest, nothing sells with Twitter anymore. Some group, someone, somewhere, somebody on Twitter is always upset over something. So
there's not enough movies that star people with freckles on their faces. I want more freckle representation. I kid, but I have actually seen posts very similar to something like that. Like,
there's not enough representation of people who have exactly 3 gray hairs in their hair. That's me. I have 3 gray hairs.
Yeah, I want to see myself on the big screen. I need to be represented. Yeah, just
there's not enough white guys in movies. I need that representation.
So there's going to be a prequel to Ocean's 11 where Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie are going to be playing the parents to Danny and Debbie Ocean.
Ryan Gosling's a white guy. Never mind, we're good.
I mean, so is Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie's not a white guy.
Yeah, she's a white woman.
Yeah,
who's Australian. So
yeah, nailed it.
So there's some representation of something in there, but
I love this.
Yes, I love it too. Here's the thing. I want both their names, as corny as this sounds, I want both of their names to begin with a D also. I want Danny, Debbie, and then whatever their names are. David and
Dolores.
Yeah.
Delilah.
Oh, no. You can't name her Delilah because everyone's going to be singing the stupid fucking song. Just
You brought it up.
I didn't say Delilah.
I didn't mention the song. Anyway, I love this. I love this. One, the pairing we've already seen is amazing in Barbie. And two, just the notion of what they could possibly do here. First of all, Ryan Gosling has comedic chops out the wazoo. Margot Robbie is an all-around talent. And you put them two together again for a project that is essentially a prequel to a series that is, I would argue, very beloved. Oceans, yes, it is.
I'm still not a fan of 12 and 13.
Okay,
but 11 and 8 were really good.
Okay, so it's beloved by everybody but you. Okay. So anyway, I think this is a fantastic team up. This is a fantastic idea. I think I put on Twitter, I was like, I've never been more about something in my entire life. I had an actual phrase I put, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it is right now. So
I still would really like a Oceans 9 and 10. I want to see another sequel with that female crew.
Yeah.
I want to see that. That would be fun to continue their hijinks. But this is a really cool idea. I like the idea that this has selling for it, even though it came out of left field. I would have thought people who are making Oceans movie, hey, why don't we just make an Oceans 9? Let's make a sequel to Oceans 8. No, let's take the entire series in a completely different direction. All right. I guess that sounds cool. And it will star Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Sold. I am behind this 2,000,000%.
You got me.
It sounds like it's basically what was it? They're learning how to be thieves, or they're learning how to heist, or are they teaching young Danny and Debbie? Or
yeah, it's their parents teaching them how to heist during I want to say the 60s, Monaco area. Just everything about this movie already sounds fantastic. I'm already pretty much on board for all of it.
I do like heist movies, specifically heist movies that deal with con, any kind of con men or anything. Mm-hmm. Matchstick Men was really good. There was that movie with Margot Robbie and Will Smith, Focus. That one was really good too.
I was gonna say, is this not just also going to be Focus with the Oceans characters involved?
Probably, very likely. But yeah, so those movies I do like. I enjoy a good heist movie, so I'm eager for this.
Yeah. I don't know what else you say. I don't know what else you say about that. It's we know that Ocean's 11. First of all, this is the first piece of news that we've gotten about this. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Second of all, we don't know who all is going to be involved with it beyond the two of them. Because if there's anything that we know about the Oceans franchise, is that they are a star-studded ensemble cast movies. And so I expect this to just be led by Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, and them to have at least 5 or 6 other names in this movie who are going to just be the cherry on top of everything. On top of that, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Sandra Bullock and George Clooney make some kind of an appearance in some way. Hopefully as de-aged children.
Oh, that's just creepy.
Yeah, I was completely kidding. That would be horrifying.
Yeah. I
want them to do it still.
I'm trying to look at who else, who was in Ocean's 11 that was old enough that they could be younger. It's really Elliot Gould and Carl Reiner. Unfortunately, Carl Reiner has passed away, so very likely we're not going to have his character involved in this. I don't know if you can get Elliot Gould to come back, because he's what, 80, 85?
But also but at this point also we're talking about Danny and Debbie's parents.
Mm-hmm.
So Elliot Gould at this point would be maybe what, early 20s, late teens. His character would be around that age at this time.
Ruben,
maybe slightly older. Ruben also around that age. So you would actually probably still actively get somebody else to play them, but they would be doing the dress them up and make them look like the character from before.
Which Elliot Gould has a very particular type of voice and mannerism, especially like Ruben Tishkoff has a very particular way of talking, and I think it might be doable, because basically you're just going to find someone who can do an impression of Ruben of Elliot Gould.
Yep.
So I feel like it's doable, but yeah, I'm so on board with this movie. I can't wait. Like, someone needs to like quickly make this and release it next month. Just
yeah.
Now you want to talk about having the Marvel VFX guys feel like they're being rushed.
Yeah, that dang Danny and Debbie Ocean Parents movie visual effects team. One guy. It's just one guy.
Good Lord. Anyways, that is it for the movie news. Nobody has a recommendation for a movie, huh? No critically acclaimed 2023 movie. I mean, the problem with it is, and I might have been shooting myself in the foot with this to begin with, in that a lot of like the bigger movies I've seen, or at this point we're getting a lot of critically acclaimed movies that are coming out now that are still in the theater, so I can't watch them. So yeah, I don't see too much of anything. Oh, look, there is one here in the chat. Looks like Elemental. Hey, I have not seen Elemental. I might need to watch that. You know what? That's a good recommendation. Thank you, whoever recommended Elemental.
Yeah,
well,
I see that person who recommended it seems like a very handsome gentleman.
Maybe. I'm pretty sure if you actually live with him, that your opinion might differ a little bit on things.
I can't see how that would be a possibility at all.
Well, who knows? Anyways, yeah, so I guess I'll go with Elemental, since there's no other. We have yet to figure out, like, in all honesty, we have not figured out what happens if, like, we're asking for a movie that no one has any idea what to recommend. So I guess that's going to be the new, what we're establishing here is that by the end of the show, we're just going to recommend a movie for one another. So if no one recommends a movie for Chris, he's to the mercy of what I recommend for him.
That's not great, because we lucked out me finding one right now.
Yeah. Anyways, so that is what we'll do. So you're going to do Bloodsport and I'll do Elemental.
Yep.
So that'll work. So next week we will be doing, where's the calendar at? Because I think I misspoke earlier. I think next Friday, the 15th of next week, that's when the Beyonce movie, I believe, comes out. Not the 13th. I thought it was the third. I thought it was, or no, the 13th is when Taylor Swift. Yeah, the Beyonce movie's already out. Taylor Swift's movie comes out on like next week on the 13th.
It's your bedtime.
It is. Yeah. So anyways, what else do we have going on? So next week after Tagline, we'll be doing the Patreon trivia. So if you are at the $5 tier on our Patreon, you could come join us for that. It's a lot of fun. We had some fun with the last one last month. So lots of people came to join us. And yeah, it is time for me to sleep. And I had a blast with it. So yeah, let's do that again next week. Hop on that $5 Patreon tier and come join us for that. It was great. Otherwise, yeah, it's movie trivia next week. The watch along is on the 27th. The 15th of this month, Friday the 15th, will be the Marquee Christmas specials. Again, if you're on our Patreon, go to the Marquee channel. You can see what movies will be tier ranking on there. Watch all those Christmas specials, not necessarily movies. watch those Christmas specials and come join us live in the chat where you can have some input on that as well. So otherwise, I believe that is it. I want to say a big thank you. Everyone who watched our Godzilla X Kong trailer reaction, thank you for that. That has been like one of the best like reaction views we've gotten lately. So very much appreciate that. We are closing in on 2,000 subscribers. I'd really like to hit that by the end of this month. By the end of this year, I would like this channel to be at 2,000 subscribers. I think we are at 1973 last I checked.
We need 27 more. Share it. Share our channel with your friends and tell them to subscribe. Make another Google account and subscribe.
I don't know if I want to actively ask for that, but
do what you got to do. Make it happen, Captain.
But yeah, if you're not subscribed to us, help us out. Get us up to 2,000 so we can start off 2024 on the right foot or the left foot, whatever foot you decide you want to step out on. But it's going to be the correct foot is what I'm trying to say.
What would be really fun is if y'all actually went above and beyond and got us to 2,024 subscribers at the start of 2024.
That would be fun. Yeah. Start 2024 with 2024.
Bang. I'm spitting tonight.
Okay.
Sure. Let it cook. In the show.
Oh, what's that one that I hear everyone saying lately? You're giving. I don't know what you're giving, but you're giving.
You are so old.
I heard that. I was like, what are they giving? They're giving? What's being given? Is it something I could use? Or
I'll explain the definition to this for you off.
Anyways, again, yeah, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to us. If you are watching, we very much appreciate that you've been watching live. Hit that like button. If you're watching this on a replay, let us know what you thought down below. Hit the like button and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. We very much appreciate that. Follow us on social media. We are at The Cinefanatics on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow... Yes, I'm doing this correctly. You can follow me personally at Robert Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and youtube.com/@RobertAdamsMLP. Also, maybe TikTok at Robert Adams MLP.
And you can follow me at Chris Adams MLP on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd, as well as twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP.
Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight. We appreciate everyone watching. Y'all have been lovely. Y'all have a great evening, and we will see y'all later. A good night.
Bye.